Ciao a tutti and welcome to Venice Talks, a podcast series about Venice in Italy. My name is Monica Cesarato and I am a Venetian food and travel blogger. I'm going to put my insider knowledge at your disposal to help you discover Venice at 360 degrees. Each week, I will be chatting to the people who really matter, the Venetian. So follow me on the discovery of its artisans, writers, fashion designers, artists, glassmakers, bloggers, and much, much more. Come to visit Venice the right and sustainable way. You can find me on my blog www.monicacesarato.com and also on all social media. Enjoy the episode. Welcome to Venice Talks, episode number 11. This episode is sponsored by Venetian Dreams by Marisa Convento, who creates jewelry, embroideries, flowers and corals in Venice with glass beads and seed beads. You can find Marisa at Bottega Cini and online at www.marisaconvento.it. Hi everybody, welcome back to Venice Talks. Today's episode is with one of my dearest friend, Johann Depietri, who is the owner of Vineria All'Amarone, one of the best places for food and wine in Venice. Ciao Johann, how are you?
Ciao Monica, benissimo. Thank you. I'm flattered by the introduction.
I couldn't go any further, but I want you to explain the people who Vineria and what Vineria All'Amarone is, because it's not just a place, it's also people, right?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, talking about Vineria All'Amarone, actually today is our day off. And, yesterday we have been working till late. By working, I mean, we've been tasting till late.
Pretending to work, you mean? Yeah.
No. Actually, it is work. Apart from the jokes, this is what we focus on. We are focused. We are on a mission, to make everyone. I mean, the people that come to say hi to us. We are on a mission to introducing to them some of the best Italian wines. By introducing them, we of course need to be sure about the quality of the wine and so on. So it's a hard work to taste, but it's part of the job, let's say.
So let's start from the beginning. When was Vineria All'Amarone born, and how was it born?
Yeah, so Vineria All'Amarone was born in February 2013 from an idea of my father.
Okay.
My father, a serial entrepreneur in Venice, he has opened many different ventures, including one of the first fast food in Venice, actually in Italy, to be honest. I don't know. Do you remember about it?
Oh my God, that was the first time ever in my life that I tasted burger. And I got to say, I can still, I mean, we're talking about, oh my God, I was 15, so we're talking about a long time ago. And I'm not gonna say how many years, but a long time ago. And I still remember the first bite, and I still remember the feeling. And I remember sitting, because he had this counter, and you had to literally climb onto these stools, really, really, really tall ones. And I remember struggling to get, because I'm short. And oh my God, opening the wrapper, and this huge burger came out, and it was so good. And I honestly never tasted a burger like that ever again. Maybe because it was my first one, but it was gorgeous. I loved it. But I didn't know it was your dad until a couple of years ago that we talked about this, and I actually didn't realize it was your dad. So another great
yeah, absolutely. Venice is a small city indeed. It's a small island. But anyways, he had many different ventures. Then he closed up Kenny, so this burger place, when Alas McDonald came to Venice. But for the best, let's say, because he had many different ventures. Then he went into his pension, let's say. He
retired.
He retired, exactly.
Or pretending to, let's say, pretending to retire.
Exactly. Because his world has always been around hospitality and restaurant and being around people. So after 3 years of retirement, let's call it like this, because he has done lots of things, lots of personal things, he decided to open this again. My mother has always been the backbone of his activity in terms of financial control, dealing with employees, dealing with all the
And
supplies, etc.
between me and you, Johan, I think your dad was retired, but your mom kicked him out of the house. She
Yeah.
couldn't stand him having around anymore. She said, go back to work.
Yeah, no, because I think it was more like it was moping around, wanted to do something and stuff. So like go get
Yeah.
your Zuccato. I mean, something to play with. And so because he was moping around the house, didn't know what to
Yeah,
do,
yeah.
and so probably they decided almost together
Yeah,
to
she
to
said, I'll
to,
have a
to start
kill
this
you.
again.
Yeah, I'll have a kill
Yeah.
you, or you're going to change with your toys.
Exactly. Must have been something like this. Yeah. Go get your toy because otherwise I don't want to see you moping around the house
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
anymore, grumbling,
Yeah.
being grumpy around the house, let's say. And so came the idea of Vineria All'Amarone. Is much an easier concept rather than his previous activities, which was like a cocktail bar and so on. By the way, I've always been involved in these activities, both working since I was like 13 years old or so. I've always been involved in these activities. So therefore, it's always been in my DNA, the hospitality,
Yeah.
being around people, the art of surprising the people that come, and also staying friends with some people. We got friends from all over the world,
Yeah.
New York, California, Australia, and so on. Just because like being around Venice lovers, I mean, you get to meet like quite a few of them on a regular basis,
Of
and
course.
therefore you become friends. So
Of
it's
course.
always been in my DNA, and I always like contributed through another passion of mine, which is web marketing. I founded also in 2013 web agency, which is called Gem Web. But then in 2020, my family needed much support at Vineria All'Amarone, so I stepped in like practically full time,
Full
let's
time.
say. Yes, absolutely. I wanted the family really needed my help, and I wanted the Vineria All'Amarone to stay afloat amongst very difficult timing, which was COVID. And so and in 2019, I actually studied a sommelier class,
I
ICE.
know. And you're an official
Yeah.
sommelier now. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Grazie, cara. Yeah, I got my diploma the other day, and very happy because it wasn't the easiest of
I know. I think I've done the first and second. I never managed to do the third one, but I know the third one is the hardest one. So congratulations again, because I know it's not easy, and I know you really wanted that. But back to the Vineria, what was particular about the Vineria is your dad wanted a different concept. He wanted something more like on the vibes of New York, of a New York cocktail bar, right?
Yes, absolutely. So like a pure cocktail bar, not many main dishes, although we adapted and introduced the main dishes just for people to get a full meal, let's say. But let's say our focus is mainly on fine finger food appetizers like cicchetti, but with a gourmet twist, let's say.
Yeah.
I know you really like the quail egg with
oh my god,
with bacon and
by the way, so people know, Johann and his family were so nice and so kind to let me use their recipe on my book. So you will find the recipe of the quail eggs and bacon on my book. But andar per Baccari, just in case. Sorry, a little bit of promotion. Go on.
Fatto benissimo.
Sorry.
No problem. Product placement. I get it. Benissimo.
Between marketing people, we understand each other.
Exactly. So anyways, the focus is mainly on appetizers. So we're talking about cicchetti with a gourmet twist. We have like lots of cold cuts from culatello di zibello to mortadella, aromatized in truffle. We have mozzarella di bufala campana. Riserva del Fondatore, very nice pecorino. I mean, we do quite a bit of research, let's say, and we also have like niche product. Particularly like cold cuts and cheeses aged in wine, which is something of a tradition in Veneto, right?
Yeah, and I think you are probably the only ones in Venice that have got this particular kind of cutting board, this charcuterie board, where both the cheeses and hams and cold cuts and stuff are from the Valpolicella, where the Amarone comes from at the end.
Exactly, because of course our name Amarone refers to an appellation of a wine, actually, in particular, which is produced and located in Valpolicella, which is right north of Verona,
Mm-hmm.
just north of the Adige in Verona, and beneath the Alps, the beginning of the Alps in Monti Lessini.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we are dedicating in promoting the denominazione,
Mm-hmm.
so the appellation and therefore the region. So
Mm-hmm.
we have, a very deep and tight connection with the area. We want to promote
Mm-hmm.
their wines
But
because
also their food. So to give them
absolutely, yeah.
a 360 degrees experience when it comes down to eating and drinking the Veneto food.
Exactly. So there is a local twist, of course. Yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
promote like Italian food and wines, but we have, because we are very close to it. We go on a regular basis. We meet the
Mm-hmm.
producers. We meet the people that produce meats, the colcas, the cheeses. Also, we recently introduced an Amarone and risotto jelly, which you need to come by. And
Oh my
yeah, no, no,
God. Oh
no,
my
no,
God.
Monica is a thing of beauty because it's like
Oh.
drinking an Amarone, but very fresh, quite
Ooh.
sweet. Sì, 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 sì.
Oh, this is interesting. I like this.
Yeah,
I
sì,
love
sì,
it because
anytime.
you always come up with these ideas and stuff. So how many Amarones do you think you
Mhm.
actually offer? Types.
I lost count, but between all the different brands and
Mm-hmm.
vintages, I think we're talking between 150 and 180 different Amarone.
Whoa!
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Which is
it's
yeah.
not You shouldn't call it anymore Vineria All'Amarone. You should call it the House of Amarone.
No, actually, all the producers, all the region, the consortium of Valpolicella is very happy to us because, of course, Venice, you got everyone from all over the world that pass by to
Yeah,
Venice. And for us to be dedicated in promoting the
yeah,
region, for them is
yeah.
very important because,
Of course.
at the end of the day, it's all a brand, as I say to a lot of our clients and friends. It's a brand. Valpolicella and Amarone are a brand, just like
Yeah, yeah, of
Barolo, just like
course.
Brunello Montalcino. So you need to do some quality offering and be able to explain what the Amarone represents for
Yeah,
Italy.
of course.
Uh,
And to
yeah,
be able to explain the differences between each Amarone. So since we're
yeah,
talking Amarone, you're a
right.
sommelier, I'm a half
Yeah.
sommelier. Okay, let's
Mhm.
give some information to people that are listening because not everybody knows. Okay, so for example, when I do my tours, I always explain to people that people to realize the Veneto region is the biggest producer of wine in Italy.
Correct.
And people don't know this. They don't know that we produce so much wine. They don't know we have a region in Italy with the highest number of native grapes because
Right.
many people come over to Italy and they've been drinking the Tuscan wines, the
Hmm.
Puglia wines, the Sicilian
Hmm.
wines. They know some of our wines, like maybe the Soave and the Pinot Grigio.
Prosecco.
Everybody knows the Pinot Grigio, the Prosecco, and they're just so overrated in my opinion. But many don't actually realize what good grapes we have in this region. So what is Valpolicella and Amarone in particular? Why is it so important? A little bit of history, if you remember it. Otherwise, I'll fill you in.
Sure, sure.
I'm pretty sure you know. I'm pretty sure you know more than I do, actually. Go
Nah,
on.
no worries. Actually, first of all, the name Valpolicella means the valley of many cellars. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Latin, of course. So we're talking about
Mm-hmm.
Roman times because it was a reservoir of the Romans where they were passing by the northern area of Italy.
Okay.
We have testimony from the 5th century AD
Mm-hmm.
of a wine which was called Acinatico,
Mm-hmm.
Vinoretico,
Mm-hmm.
from
Mm-hmm.
Theodoricus of Visigothi.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about a long history. This wine was very sweet. This wine was already very sweet. Um,
Like all
yeah.
generally like we have were very sweet or
Mhm.
very very sour like the Raboso. So
Absolutely.
they didn't do too much fermenting, but not very long. Like not the idea that we have now of winemaking. It was a bit different, wasn't it? Back in the
Absolutely,
yeah,
because they didn't have controlled temperature to make the
of
fermentation
course.
go all the way. So basically, uh, you know, cutting the history because it's a very long
Yeah, of
history
course.
shorter. The vino acinatico, vinoretico was then at the beginning of the 20th century was the Ricciotto alla Valpolicella. Before the Amarone, there is the Ricciotto. So what is this Ricciotto? Basically, after the harvest, you let the grapes dehydrate, from 3 to 4 months. So what happens is like they lose about 40% of their weight, so they lose the juice. Sugars concentrate a lot, but also acidity, aromas, and so on. Therefore, is high in sugar percentage.
And let's explain it. Sugar is very important when you do wine because it's what the yeast eats to make alcohol. If you don't have a sugar, nothing happens, right?
Exactly. So the Amarone.
I heard this little like silence. I thought, oh, sugar! I just said something wrong now.
No. It's definitely
for a moment. I thought, oh gosh, I failed my sommelier course.
No. Anzi, we should do a class together eventually.
That would be fun. Yeah,
that would be very fun, like a small class. And so let's talk about it eventually. What do you think?
Offline after.
Okay. So anyways, 1935, a barrel of Ricciotto went left in a cellar. Actually, the cellar was Cantina di Negrar, so it was a cooperativa. So what happens? They forgot it. They forgot it. Yeah, they forgot it. And then in the spring, with the higher temperature, the fermentation kicks back again. So sugars transform the rest of the sugars in alcohol. Therefore, the sugar it becomes a dry wine. And the owner of Cantina di Negrar comes. And the cellar master is very scared, because at the time you couldn't do dry wines.
Of course.
So it's extremely strict. And so Gaetano Dall'Ora, so the owner of Cantina di Negrar, comes in and he tries this wine, this dry wine, and the cellar master is very scared, because he lost a barrel. But this time, Gaetano Dall'Ora is in a quirky mood, and says, "Okay, let's give it a shot. Let's try it." And it goes like, "Oh my God, this wine is not Amaro, it's Amarone. This time you really nailed it. So this one is not." It's not even bitter, so it's in contraposition of the Ricciotto, which was sweet. It's extremely bitter, which is Amarone, and I mean the rest is history. Then in 1968, it became DOC, so a first appellation, and then in 2010 it became DOCG, which is the highest appellation, synonymous with the highest quality of wines appellations in Italy.
So for the people that are listening and might not know much about wine or whatever, is DOC in Italian means Denominazione Origine Controllata. It means control origin. It means that in Italy, by law, this is controlled by our government. To be able to produce a wine with a particular name and sell it with that name, like Prosecco, Amarone, Chianti, whatever, it needs to be produced in a particular area of production with the grapes of that area of production, with the winemaking technique of the area production. If any of the three elements is missing, you cannot produce and sell it with a name. You can still produce it, you can still sell it, but you cannot use the name because it's fraud in Italy if you do, and you go to prison. So it's this was something that was born to give us some reassurance to the people who were buying the wines, right? Because there is such a tight control on the products. So
it's a pyramid system of quality, let's say, is in order to ensure that the work of all the vignerons, of the winemakers in Italy, goes towards like quality, because we're talking about a brand, the Italian wine brand, and also the smaller Denominazione di Origine Controllata brands like Valpolicella and so on. But anyways, we're talking, we went quite technical in the description of Amarone and all the wines. But
it's trying to explain these things, because I think sometimes, people are missing out on understanding the difference between the wines in Italy. Italian wines. No, it's not Italian wines. Each regional wine is totally different. Like, for example, I don't know if you agree, but the characteristic of our wines, of a Veneto wine, is that they're beverini, they're much easier to drink. But I'm not so sure it's such a good thing. because we drink much more. But
Oh, that's why we're quite good, big drinkers. Okay, yeah, I understand.
no, but
Yeah,
no, jokes apart, they are a bit,
yeah.
they're not, the tannins are not so strong as when you have a Tuscan wine. So they are more
Mhm.
softer on the palate and easier to drink.
Very true.
And
Very
this is
true.
something that needs to be explained and should be explained to
Mm-hmm.
people. Also
Yeah.
because the way that you understand that you should always try to pair your food
Mm-hmm.
with a
Mm-hmm.
wine
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
local to local, because they were brought up on the same soil, so we're
Yeah.
gonna have somehow some of the characteristic that go together. And I think it's very important for people to understand this about Venice and Veneto in general.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, it's not the easiest tasks because if we zoom out and talk about Italy, in Italy we have 1,000 different grape varieties. 1,000, which is
Wow.
like huge. Think about France, for example, they have about 200, of
Oh
which
wow.
they use about like 25, which we all know.
Yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
to say about French wines. French, we all lost to our cousins. You can say anything you want about them. I mean, I can say whatever I want because my mom she's French, so you know.
Exactly, so you can say that as well. As I go.
Exactly. But you know, lots of respect to French winemakers. They made the history. We started much later to quality wines, and we
Yeah.
learned a lot from them. So big applause to them for what they did, etc. But you know, Italy, the present and future of Italy is you know, sky is the limit. We have 1,000 different grape varieties. We are able to cope with climate change because we have high mountains and we
Mm-hmm.
have different grapes which can better cope with the climate change, which, alas, is something happening since quite a few years already.
Of
So
course.
everybody is you know, coping with that and you know, making changes in altitude, the vineyards, you know, the also the denomination taking into
Mm-hmm.
consideration climate change since a while now. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
1,000 different grape varieties and 181 DOC, around 80 DOC.
How many have we got in the Veneto now? Do you see? Is it 28 or is it going up? Is it going down? Okay, because I'm
But
always I'm
yeah,
lost now with numbers.
around that, yeah, around that number. We have
Okay,
around that number, which is
okay, quite
the
high.
highest number of DOCG, I think, is in Piemonte. But you know,
Yeah,
we have quite a few. The
yeah.
diversity is something that we need to promote. That's why at Vineria All'Amarone we offer some wine tastings, wine
Mm-hmm.
tasting experience, which are very easygoing experience in which you can choose your experience. You can choose
Mm-hmm.
between like 5 Amarone, you can choose 5 Italian red regions, so 5
Okay,
red wines from different regions. You can use, we have introduced a latest one, which is called From White to Red, in which you have
okay.
like 2 white wines, 1 orange wine, 2 red wines.
Oh, that's
And
good. That's nice.
yeah,
So you
yeah,
you
yeah,
build up
it's
you build up the flavors. Okay, I like that. Okay.
yeah, absolutely. You start with a un vino beverino, as we say, like a
Yeah.
light, white, fresh, aromatic wine from Veneto, and you go up to Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, which you know, from Marina Svet is
Mm-hmm.
quite intense. You know, like full body,
So
very tannic.
this is
Mhm,
quite good, what you're offering, because in a way
mhm.
it's not designed just for people that know about wine, but also for absolute beginners, right? Because you are there,
Absolutely,
either
yeah,
you or one of your colleagues that are all trained people in wine, but you actually
mhm,
get to explain the people. It's not just okay, here's a wine drink. There is all the
yeah.
explanation that goes with it, right?
Absolutely. First of all, they have a brochure with
Mm-hmm.
the explanation of the concept of the experience that they're doing. You know, why we picked
Mm-hmm.
5 Italian regions. So, you know, we talk about, there is an introduction about the Amarone in general. And then there
Mm-hmm.
is a description of each and every one of the wine. Of course, they are short description because we don't want to overwhelm people
Oh, no, of course. Yeah, yeah, of
with
course.
information. But then you got also the grape varieties that are used, the scents that we feel they are, the alcohol level, you know, the vinification method, the
Mm-hmm.
aging process, and so on. And then they can also take some notes. So, you know, even if you don't want to don't want to listen to us speak, because you know, as we say, it needs to be like easygoing and fun. Okay, so if
Yes.
you want to come there and just you know, do the wine tasting and just say I like this one better than this one, for us is totally okay. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not there to
Judge,
overwhelm
yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, of course.
some people just come there to take pictures and post it on Instagram, and it's
It's
no,
good. All right, it's
yeah,
good
yeah, yeah, of
publicity.
course.
You know,
No,
very
but
good.
yeah, it's a good of a publicity, but also for them, I mean, it's fun. Maybe they go away and they've learned one thing that in the Amarone, that the Amarone wine exists and it's from Venice. For us,
Mhm.
it's perfectly okay. They going home with a little bit of knowledge, even a tiny bit of knowledge, and we are happy with that. Then I mean, there is like
Uh-huh.
uh,
Eh,
permitted the term like hardcore professional, which like we can spend hours like talking to them for sure.
Ah, no, no.
Mhm.
Rimetti il microfono vicino perché mi stai sparendo.
Okay.
Another thing that you actually, a great idea that you had during the lockdown, and I thought that was amazing. And I think that's
Mhm.
one of the things that makes also the Vineria different from other wine bars in the city, is that you decided to do online wine tasting.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
you
yeah.
still offer it? Do you still offer it, or it was just during the lockdown?
It was mostly during the lockdown. The reason is at the moment I would spread too thin if
Okay.
I would
And no,
continue.
I was only
Yeah,
asking because I thought it
no,
was
no, no.
a good idea for people to get to know you before they came over, and then and then they come and see you in person.
No, but eventually it could be something that we offer again. The thing is, like, we are very very focused on working on the different tasting experiences. We will
Mhm.
introduce like a few new ones very soon. And at the moment, something that we're doing, very productively and efficiently is like shipping wines internationally.
Mhm.
We are doing lots of shipping to the States. So basically,
Oh,
you come to the
you
yeah,
managed to do the states too. Oh, that's very good because I get
absolutely.
a lot of people
Mhm,
asking me because I know it's very hard in
mhm.
the States because you need to
Yeah,
have a license and every state
exactly.
is
Yeah.
different. So I'm very happy about this because I do get a lot of requests and I never know where to send them because
Hmm.
I know I knew you shipped in Europe,
Hmm.
but I wasn't sure
Yeah,
you
yeah,
shipped in the USA. So that's very good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then
We
I have a
Mhm.
request.
Sure.
When are you gonna do the tiramisu with Amarone? I keep
Wow.
asking, and you keep telling me, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it
It's
will be
but listen,
the
let's
best
let's
thing
do
you can do.
let's do a workshop. You just bring your knowledge. Bring your savoir-faire, your
No,
know-how, and
because
you work with Antonella
okay,
to do it.
so to
Mm.
everybody that's listening, I mean, I'm very fussy about my tiramisu.
Yeah.
I don't
Madonna
think
mia.
anybody around can make it better than I do. Okay.
Tumble.
That's my take. Okay. But I got to say, if there is a place where I will happily have a tiramisu, because I don't ever, ever, ever order it at a restaurant, yours is the only one, is the only place where I do. Because I know
Brava,
she
brava
makes
Antonella.
it
Yeah.
exactly the same way as I make it. Okay, so I
Mhm.
like that. But
Yeah,
that's one
very,
thing.
very traditional recipe.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, 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 yeah. So, and a nice glass of Amarone Orecchiotto with a nice piece of Amarone, sorry, tiramisu is, oh my God, perfect, perfect,
Yeah,
perfect.
I want this
So,
now. Can I?
sorry?
Posso?
Yeah,
I
sì,
want
dimmi.
this now for breakfast. No, no, no. I mean,
Okay,
I want
you
that.
want it now? No, with Amarone was a bit early, but listen. Okay,
Mm.
so what is Vineria All'Amarone plans for the future? Something, some new ideas and stuff, or at the
Uh,
moment you're just concentrating on finishing the season?
no, we have like quite a few plans at the moment. The most important thing is expanding our storage capacity for wine.
Okay.
In terms of, we want to become, the wholesaler,
Hmm.
reference wholesaler for Amarone Valpolicella wines. At the moment, we cannot
Okay.
do it for, storage
Yeah, yeah,
restraints,
of course.
and also we are difficulty to keep up with the shippings at the moment.
Hmm.
Because a lot of these people they come to our wine bar. They taste one glass of wine, they taste one glass
Yeah.
of Amarone, maybe they
And
do, the Amarone tasting, and they fall in love with lots
of
of our
course.
wines. They say, and then we go to the wine shop next door, which is a tiny place, and they
Uh-huh.
say, okay, I want a case of that, I want a case of that, and so
Of
on.
course, of
And
course.
sometimes we need to wait, we need to reorder the wines before
we ship them and stuff. And at the moment, we have a little bit of a logistic restraint. So
Yeah,
we
of
need,
course, of course.
yeah, we need some more storage. And
Okay.
also, we want to, because these people really, really, really love our wines, and we build connection with them, like also on information exchange. It's not
Mm,
just, like a selling experience, like a
yeah.
selling transaction. We give them information based on their tastes, and we
Uh-huh.
give them recommendation based on their tastes. So we continue this exchange of information also remotely, let's say. And
Mm-hmm.
we are in the process of building some wine clubs as well. Uh,
Oh, I
I,
like that. Wine
yeah,
clubs.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That sounds
baby.
good. I like that. You
But
could
of course,
combine it.
yeah,
You could
yeah.
combine it with a presentation of books. I know one.
Ooh, now you're
Yeah.
talking. Yeah,
Exactly. That's
more
how you do
more
it. Yeah.
spin-off
Mm.
ideas. Yeah, I like this. I like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do people find Vineria All'Amarone physically? I
Oh,
mean.
yeah. Physically, we are located by the Rialto Bridge, between the Rialto Bridge and San Polo,
Mm-hmm.
Campo San Polo. But the easiest way, in case they don't want to walk or they want like easy access, is to get the water bus and stop at San Silvestro. From there, we are like 10 seconds away. Just walk
Yeah.
straight
Yeah, you
to
just
Vineria
buy Campo San Silvestro, so it's very easy
Eh,
to find, and it's lovely
Esatto.
because you got two entrances, so it doesn't matter
Mhm,
if you go on one calle or the other, you can still go
mhm.
inside. And
Yeah.
instead, on the web, where can the people find you?
So it's allamarone.com for the wine bar, and we have also an e-commerce. I forgot to mention that,
Okay,
which
yeah.
is, of course, due to my background, like in web marketing and stuff,
Yeah, of
which is
course. Too much stuff. We got too much stuff
see,
going on. That's
see,
why. And then
shop.
on social medias.
Hmm? Social media is All'Amarone, basically all the nicknames on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Although we're not very active on Twitter,
I know
we are.
because I
Mm,
keep tagging you and you never answer. I know you're
Mamma
not.
mia!
Yeah,
Shame on
yeah,
me! Shame on
yeah.
me!
Also because I tagged you the other day, there was a string of compliments because somebody said that they came and ate in your place and drank in your place after they found your my book, and there was a string of comments below. Everybody say the greatest place in Venice, and I went,
Mamma mia!
but
Shame
nobody
on
tagged
me!
you. So at the end, I went.
Okay.
Yeah, look at this, Vineria All'Amarone, but nobody has answered. I wonder
Shame,
why.
shame on me, shame on me. But yeah, I will activate the notification on Twitter
Okay.
for sure.
No, don't worry, don't
But
worry.
with my
You got
spare time,
Monica telling you. Sorry?
sì, 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 grazie mille. Thanks for taking over.
But
No, I'm more active on Instagram at the moment.
oh, definitely you are. You definitely are. You
Yeah,
make some
yeah.
beautiful, I got to say, some beautiful videos lately. I've got some beautiful
Yeah.
reels and
We
stories.
loved
Well
it.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Grazie,
think
cara.
well, for wine and food, I think is
Mhm.
one way to really entice people to,
Yeah,
they need to
but
see things like that.
we wanted to stress that it's a little bit of an experience. I mean, it's more of
Mm,
an experience to come to us. It's a very informal service, but you get to try very, very important wines. And
yeah.
we are on a mission. We are really on a mission of making you appreciate this wine, making you find the wine you like the best, and then taking it home. So you want to talk to us, you want to interact with us. We are there. That's why our service style is quite informal. We want to be
Yeah.
approached by people. We don't want them to be scared of
Yeah,
interacting
of
with
course.
us.
And I
And
got
it
to
will
admit,
always be like this.
and I got to say, all of your
Mm,
staff is always
mhm,
very well prepared. I rarely
mhm,
found somebody when you ask about this wine, about that, about the
mhm,
food, they were going like, oh, I don't know. Most of them just
mhm.
went blah, 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 blah. So it's not
Yeah,
easy to find that well prepared staff.
yeah.
Above all, nowadays, we all know what the problem with staff is because
Mm, mm,
everybody
mm,
is
mm.
finding very hard. So it is nice that you have, so no matter who's in the shop, as they say,
Mhm.
can offers a great customer service, and then you got
Yeah.
the best bathtub in town, definitely. Because
Sì,
you
sì,
have to
sì.
understand that we got beautiful red bathtub all full of wine. That is amazing. That's one of the signature points of a wine bar. Johann, thank you
grazie.
so much for this lovely
Mhm.
chat. And I'm definitely coming to try this jelly thing now. You got me into it. Can't wait.
And also the Amarone tiramisu workshop. Let's do that.
Yeah, no, we definitely got to do that. We got
We
to
need
sit
you.
down
We
with
need,
Antonella.
we need
No,
you.
because then it can become your signature dessert. Can you be,
Yeah.
you know?
As long, yeah, we like things like to be lighter and not too heavy. So we need to in order to be
Or
the
a
best, of course.
or a panna cotta with Amarone syrup on top.
Oh, Amarone jelly.
Yeah.
Mm.
See, I'm a genius. I know.
Cuore sotto.
Oh
Grazie, grazie.
God. Okay, let's stop here because otherwise I'm gonna go collapse on hunger and all. Okay, listen, Jan, thank you again, and I'll see you in Venice. I'm not gonna speak to you. I'm gonna see you in Venice soon.
Sì, sì.
Okay.
You know where to find us.
Okay. Thank you again.
Okay. Okay, un
Ciao.
abbraccio. Ciao,
Ciao,
cara.
ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Okay.
A big thank you to Johann for this lovely chat about wine and food and Venice. You can find Vineria All'Amarone near Campo San Silvestro in the San Polo Rialto area and online as allamarone.com. Thank you again for listening. If you want to book a food tour or a cooking experience with me, you can find me on my blog www.monicacesarato.com or at cookingvenice.com, and also on all social medias with the handle at Monica Cesarato and at Cooking Venice. Feel free to leave a comment or write to info@monicacesarato.com for more information about the people featured in the podcast or Venice. Bye bye!